Sizzles in there in the upper 90s. And you know the other thing about Ashcraft,
snaps for a strike on Adam. Ever looked, and then he left with a cramp in his calf.
Got in spring training. You wonder if he can get by without that. Back-to-back breaking. That's 95 miles an hour, and look at the movement on that. That's the kind of.
Lopes, the shortstop. What are you seeing in his breaking ball? How is it different?
Concentrate on spin rather than velo.
Swing and a miss. 3-pitch K. Big rip from Rougned Odor. We were talking.
They've got two catchers back there, and Casale and Luke Maley, that are, would describe to me young pitchers.
That is dominance from Brian Ashcraft.
Training. Lugo's. Make this quickly. So really, I don't look. Well, we've seen him though a lot in at bats is really not.
It's the first extra base knock of the series.
Of course, with the Padres in town, they bring all their business. Just loves to play baseball.
Big cut, 2-2.
It's Lugo's main.
Last time out on this. Swing and miss.
Slider. I'm really amazed how catcher. Oh, and meanwhile, hey, I got to get in the batting cage. I've got to work on.
A great feature. Fott narrates it. Worth a listen. Smoke to right. Big Milan for Myers. Scooped it right. Votto home. He scores. 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Reds get a run.
Can't argue with that.
Strike 1 on Nelson Cruz. Star. And beautiful. Votto with a strike.
Stevenson is mid-20s. Steer is young. Will Benson.
High to David Dahl, and with that, Chris, comes, and you sent
right. I think David Bell's done a really fine job in other, and he's done a great job doing that. And that's probably the #1.
Landed for strike 3. That's 4
coming, and it just you can't pull the trigger.
Softly serves that single. The first odd shift limitations impacting ground ball pitchers.
Well, I think it's not going to help them. I mean, I think it's just a natural progression. And then for Ashcraft.
Swing and a miss. He twists Sullivan.
Ooh, that's an.
So Ohio, Kevin Newman grounds out on the first pitch. Here's the tap on it with Reds Live, the post-game edition after the game.
Did you just go Mills? His trademark phrase.
I'm getting older, John. I forget what I say, like mo.
2-0 to Spencer Steer, who's had a really nice spring, Chris.
He's solid. League level time for Steer.
Tried to check. Appeal confirms he went. He seems more settled at third base now. And Steer's aboard. 6-4.
Aren't they all nowadays? Gets a lot of ground balls on.
Dive base hit. Who's at second? Got soft ball. Among his lefty bats, who would he forecast perhaps staying in? Granted AAA, did reasonably well against lefty. Steer hops off second. Strike. Hard side handled by Odor.
Timing is very good too.
Runner late break home, fire to the plate.
Spencer Steer had a good lead at third base because able to score.
Either season.
You know, there are some scouts here.
Headlong dive.
To this point, you know, everything that we can control and all the parts that you know, accomplished the last 34 days, but very excited to get to Cincinnati at this point.
We've seen an aggressive
Advantage of the type of team you have. We think this year we have more speed. Jim.
That is the skipper of the Reds. David Bell. Let's go back upstairs.
Back to another Taylor Colway. Yeah, I also thought that last at bat by Batten. And it was right on the verge. And I think he came when they were paired up together. And man, that's nasty.
Bring along.
I mean, his jams him for a bouncer. Newman. Hey. Joey swinging, bouncer to the shaded second baseman. And some of the guesses when it first leaked yesterday, hitters wanted a touch more time.
Well, from what I've seen overall, you know, early on,
yeah, I think one of the
waiting for you to get back in, and he didn't get back in time. Umpire correctly. I mean, the old I've got a bug anymore. Where we used to see batters calling.
Now, one tweak that was made today, though, on the umpires will delay the start of the clock, and they're always going to have a certain sense of
stance, and those have finally become public to the point where, you know, the fans can understand what's going on. Strike three.
Swing and a miss for Stevenson. Hey. Joey swinging, bouncer to the shaded second baseman. And some of the guesses when it first leaked yesterday, hitters wanted a touch more time.
Well, from what I've seen overall, you know, early on,
yeah, I think one of the
waiting for you to get back in, and he didn't get back in time. Umpire correctly. I mean, the old I've got a bug anymore. Where we used to see batters calling.
Now, one tweak that was made today, though, on the umpires will delay the start of the clock, and they're always going to have a certain sense of
stance, and those have finally become public to the point where, you know, the fans can understand what's going on. Strike three.
Swing and a miss for Stevenson.